Good.
Yep,
I don't know why it does that on the first join for a stage for me. It's really weird.
just you, brother.
Yeah, I don't know. I hate it here. Anyways, uh, how's it going, guys? PI dev announcement. We haven't done one of these in a very long time. I'm gonna join uh, Gaulish Artisan and do giveaways there. I would encourage you all to come in game to boost the player count for this for a little bit.
What was the server you said, so I can put announcements for you?
Gaulish Artisan. Dang, I'm trying to think of some more people from around the here. I have to like kind of specifically win.
We pinged in Rome.
Did man. Oh, what's they doing?
Yeah, we just had a PR yesterday. Pretty big, actually.
You guys should, it's pretty cool. Player count up for this.
You want to do an in-game announcement as well?
Uh, nah, keep playing game other turn, that's fine. I'm actually gonna go to Cilia. You can sit over there. That'll be safe for everybody. Yeah, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this in the form. It should be done.
Classic.
Classic. Yeah, my bad for everyone that's over on the other side of the map. Oops.
Damn, look
I'm
at
gonna
this
use
drip.
emojis for this too, guys. For my announcement, so it'll be good to tune in person.
Yeah, you were talking about streaming again. I think that's a good idea.
I think so. It was fun. I mean, when I first got Northern, I was streaming, and I was getting like 100 or a couple hundred people.
That's good marketing as well.
I mean, it's nothing crazy, but it was fun. I think it was a good way to interact with the community. I do dev streams sometimes, and then I do games with random people.
Everyone, if you're not in game already, the server is Gaulish Artisan.
Yep.
I put in announcements.
Trouble before the might of Jupiter!
Yeah, I'd recommend coming. I'm probably gonna put stuff away. Right, drippy. Yeah, drip goes hard. I can't lie.
Yeah, Drip does. You check out Drip Check channel.
Yeah, it for a while. Yeah, some of these are pretty fire. Wow, you just kind of cook.
If someone could record the call, that'd be good for anyone who's
Yeah.
missed it.
Guys. I'll probably, if someone could actually just like take notes.
Yeah. Mod, can you please monitor the chat? Have
I will. I'll drop an announcement of everything we talk about, but I'll let someone take notes because I'll forget. Let's see. 40 people in it. That's not bad, guys. Not bad. Twisted
I'm
Beast
surprised you
Replay.
didn't stutter while you were speaking in Northwind.
I didn't what?
You didn't stutter.
Maybe a little bit. I don't know. I don't think so. I'm a little upset. Like I really thought that I had. Because when I first made that event, I was gonna do BI first and then Northwind. So I figured that Northwind might run long. And so I had Northwind set for an hour from now, or 40 minutes from now. And then I was told that there was an event that I didn't realize, so I pushed it to 4. But I never realized that, like, in my head, like, I forgot about it. So I got home from lunch, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna write up everything I want to talk about. Like, it'll be very well thought out, like, organized, it's gonna be great. And then someone came to me like, no, you have a meeting for Northwind. I'm like, oh, it's my bad, guys. Sorry about that. I'm always late, though, so I guess it's okay. I think people realize, like, I'm a
True Rise fashion.
True Rise fashion. Is it really a Northwind blog if I'm not late? Okay, well, I think we'll get started here. I don't think we're going to get too many other people trickle in. I hope that we can start to get these numbers back up, though. That'd be cool. BI, definitely far cry from what we once were in terms of player count, but that's okay. You know, just agenda for this call. I want to talk about some updates that we plan to do for you guys. You know, kind of my thoughts for the future of BI, what we can do with it, and yeah, like a state of the game sort of deal here. So, for those of you, I'll give like a brief BI history lesson for those who have not been here since the very beginning. But BI has been out now, what, about a year and a half, technically? Right? That's right. Pretty sure. Year? No, it's been longer than a year. No, you're wrong. I'm not listening. I'm not listening to Boosh. That's not true. Like, somewhere between a year and a year and a half. Whatever. So, planning was like 2 years, yeah. So, you know, BI to me was always meant to be a game that I wish existed when I was growing up, right? Like, I played in, you know, some of the original Ancient Genre groups and games, lots of fun, when I was a younger man, and, you know, I wanted to make BI sort of the game that I wish we had back then. And for pretty much all of what I wanted, I think we've accomplished that. You know, BI, I think, is a really fun game. I think it's pretty well developed. You know, because we built this one more from the ground up than, say, like Northwind, we were able to do things here that I wished Northwind could do, or could have been. And so we've been able to do a lot of things here that we weren't able to do in Northwind and aren't able to. We've got a framework here that, you know, can stuff like that. So, you know, in that respect, I want to say, like, I'm very happy with BI. You know, I built the game that I wanted to. Obviously, the count is way lower than we would love it to be, right? That's fine. You know, there's not a ton we can do. The way I look at it, and I hope that you guys understand this logic, because to me it makes a lot of sense, but, you know, I could be coping. But my thought on BI is this is kind of exactly where Northwind was, you know, a year and a half into it. You know, I have made the mistake twice now of trying to blend the communities of Northwind and BI, right? Telling Northwind factions to come here and make a faction, like, oh, you guys should play both, it'll be fun, and blah, 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 blah. At the end of the day, for most players, it's too different of a game. You know, Northwind players, by and large, they don't want to play this, and so even when they do come play it, they don't stick around, and it's created a lot of turmoil in the official factions, just the faction scene overall, with us trying to incentivize Northwind factions to come here. And so I look around, you know, the people that are in game here, and barring a few names, right, like most of you were just BI players, right? Most of you are not Northwind players, or at least not Northwind players anymore. And that's been our goal for BI now, is to develop its own community. So, you know, the Discord, as an example, right? It's growing every single week, right? You know, we have days where we go down in numbers, but overall we do grow every little bit. You know, the in-game player count, while the concurrents might go down, the actual monthly users go up a little bit. You know, this month we're down, but that's because Christmas was last month, so, you know, it's bound to happen. But my point is that BI is developing its own game, and that's really what I want out of it. So I don't want to try to compare and contrast this to Northwind, because the two games are just too different. It's different players, different games, different admins. And, you know, this is where Northwind was a year and a half in. It was sitting at 50, 60, 70 concurrent. And that was with Northwind even having the benefit of coming off of TNF. Granted, Northwind's paid access, but still. So I'm extremely happy with where we're at. To dispel any rumors or anything, we're not shutting BI down. That's not something we've considered or That would be a lie, actually. We have considered it. It's not something we are considering. BI to me is still a passion project. I want it to continue. I like the community here. I think that Zolkar has done an amazing job of cultivating a good community here that's not overly toxic, and I feel like is kind of inclusive of new players. You know, we do retain new players a lot better than Northwest. So you know, I definitely want that to continue. So on that point, right, we have to start putting some development resources back in here. The reason there were not the reason there were not updates for so long was there was a really big bug with BI that none of us could really figure out for a while. That basically prevented us from publishing like at all. So we could continue to do work on our dev place, but we couldn't publish like whatsoever, and it kind of just demotivated everybody. So we couldn't figure it out. We kind of just had to sit here for a while. You don't have to give me food. I got it, everyone. So now we fixed that as of like a week. We were able to fix or update the chat system, and then we were able to fix that. So, you know, we're excited to start pushing some updates out again. Some of the things that we want to focus on, I know this has been asked for a long time, are some more event-specific items. So that'll be coming very rapidly. Some new dev spawn items to give out, some unique event items, stuff like that. The next one that I want to do at some point is some more faction updates in regards to rewards for forwards, features for factions, and then the biggest one that I think that BI is going to really take well is a lore update. So we're doing it in Northwind. I built a very intricate back-end functional thing to develop lore, and it's funny, I'd actually started that for BI. Honestly. If you guys go all the way back to the teasers that I was posting with like maps, that stuff ended up turning into what became the lore wiki for Northwind. So now that it's done to some degree, you know, I want to start bringing those features back. You know, I think that Rome already does it to a good extent. I think it'll be a good way that we can get and retain other factions. So, yeah, I think those are kind of our short-term priorities, is getting the lore stuff set up over here. So there'll be announcements regarding that over the next week. I'll have the website set up, and some staff members to run it, and we can start getting that going. I think it's going to be a really good way to incentivize, you know, official battles and all of that fun stuff. New items coming. You know, we've done a lot of bug fixes, and maybe not so much bug fixes, but updates to the horses or it's eventually going to go to Northwind that I want to port over here. So things like horse stamina, horses swimming, stuff like that. Just some quality of life updates for horses to help balance them. Some data leaks that we want to fix with those. I think those are probably the biggest ones. And you know, I think we want to do a lot of small updates to start. Ideally, we can start getting some people back into GI. We can start getting some factions back.
Trouble before the might of Jupiter.
That way. So, yeah, this is definitely a shorter update than Northwind. But you know, we are very much we are very motivated to continue BI and to get this growing again. And yeah, I want to thank all of you guys for the continued support for Northwind, or excuse me, for BI. I know Northwind has taken a lot of their priority for us over the last few months, but you know, we are back. I will also say that Tiber is going to be working exclusively on Imperium for quite a while, so you can expect updates from him and then from me as well. Appreciate the continued support. I would ask that you guys continue to play the game, continue to be active. That's the best thing you can do. Tell your friends to come back to BI if they've left. You know, all factions that you used to be a part of. You know, we want to regrow in that capacity. So I think that's about it. I'll take some questions in the chat. Are you guys talking that? Maybe not.
I think everyone's talking in here.
Okay, yeah, I'll go look in general. I'll take some questions in general.
can probably
Yeah, we'll probably release the update next week Friday. There's some more items I want to get in, things like that.
people were wondering if we're gonna have Messiah rateable again.
Probably not. Probably not. So to answer the question, the update is going to be some new event items, death items for admins to give out for events. I'll be releasing some of the lore-specific features that we've made for Northwind. So things like the title system, reserving names for official characters, and then the actual lore wiki dashboard, all of that stuff. I'll be pushing over some bug fixes that we've kind of screwed over the last few months. And then there was one other thing. Oh, some of the updates to horses that we've done for Northwind, I will probably want to bridge over. Those might need to be tested, so we might have to wait. But
one of the people were asking, does a new expansion happen, like a new map, like Alexandria?
At some point, I definitely want to increase the player count more. I think that's one of the detriments of Northwind is kind of all the different islands spread the player base that too much. I don't think I can support that. I would be more apt to just replace Massilia and do something else. But we have to think about that.
Got some questions about fort building.
We probably will not port over fort building. We are talking about doing houses, but we'll see.
This is your guys' chance to ask real questions.
Yeah.
So please, yeah. Yeah. What do you think of more quests? Is that coming?
Yeah, we can do some quests. And then yeah, we can do items for some additional quests. I don't have a problem with that.
One of them is asking for a tutorial expansion, maybe?
I don't think we're going to do a tutorial expansion, but I think we're going to rework the tutorial. It's definitely way too long, and I think it's burning out a lot of players. We will eventually do some sort of tutorial overhaul in the short-term future.
Also, any more siege weapons? Maybe like a catapult or something?
At some point, maybe, but it's kind of lower priority. But yeah, it's something that we want to do. Yeah, we can do bounty board rewards and like that.
Yeah, bounty board rewards are pretty good.
We can do AFK rewards for freedom too. We can port that over.
Yeah. I like what people want to see.
The biggest thing is just going to be more accessories and items overall. Weapons, armor, accessories, stuff like that. So.
I don't know if you answered this yet, but it was a conquerable interactive map.
Yeah, that's going to be a part of lore. So yes. Definitely something I want to bring back.
Someone said more historical armor added to the game.
Some definitely, but not in the short term. I want to probably rebalance what we have before we add a ton more armor in.
More forest items in the shop, maybe holiday items for special events.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna start doing the holiday events here as well that we do in Northwood. So,
And what about any word on naval combat?
probably not. Map expansion is probably not. Adding a barber is something we can do.
Someone's asking about the lore wiki. Like the one that we
Yeah,
had.
it'll be its own site. House building is something we might do. We gotta. But yeah, I think that's kind of everything that I wanted to talk about and answer question-wise. You know, mainly I just wanted to come on here and say that, you know, PI is not abandoned, and that we are planning to do some things. I don't want to get everyone's hopes up that this update is going to be some massive, crazy rework, because it's not. You know, we want to start doing smaller updates and then slowly increment back up for BI. So that's what I would plan on.
Oh, one last one. The Coliseum.
Yeah, that's something that we are actively working on. Yeah, I think that's everything. Thank you guys for joining in the continued support for BI. We're going to continue to do some updates. And yeah.